So arguably, one of the most interesting devices Apple launched at the iPhone event was the iPad mini. Now, this device is very similar with respect to its performance and the internals to an iPhone 13 or a 13 Pro, but there are several differences specifically with the price. In this video, we're going to find out if the iPad mini is the right iPad for you. So let's quickly get started. So the iPad mini starts at 46,900 for the Wi-Fi only variant. You can get a Wi-Fi plus cellular variant as well. So if this is going to be your first sort of tablet device in the house, I would totally recommend that you go for the Wi-Fi plus cellular so that you get more portability and more access to the device when you're indoors or even if you're traveling with it. Now, this is also a great alternative to a device that you can buy for somebody who you don't want to give a phone to. So for example, if you have somebody who's getting access to online education and doesn't need a phone device but needs a online connected device, the iPad mini is kind of perfect for that. Now on the inside, you have the same A15 chip that you do on the iPhone 13 series, and this chip is extremely powerful. It has all the capabilities. Of course, it's been clocked in a certain way, so you do have a performance difference between the devices, but the chip is extremely capable. It's one of the best processors or SoCs that is available in the market today, and it is accessible at this price tag even if you get the lowest end variant. Speaking of variants, you can get a 64 gigabyte iPad and a 256 gigabyte iPad. And for the most part, 64 gigabyte is enough storage capacity, especially for a tablet device, which is mostly used for things like streaming or accessing content on the go, and not as much for storing photographs or video. But if you do want to do that, I would recommend that you get the higher end variant. I also wish that they would have removed the 64 gigabyte variant from the iPad as well as they did on the iPhones, but they haven't done that, and at this price bracket, 64 gigabytes is still pretty good. Now, one of the best things about the iPad mini is the size. For people with sort of larger than average hands, you can really easily hold it with one hand. And the device is extremely portable. It's extremely lightweight, it's slim, and it's easy to carry. So you can actually use the device holding it with one hand and using it with the other. And this is where the Apple Pencil also comes into play. Because the iPad mini now accepts the Apple Pencil, you can get access to a lot of things. You can take notes on the go. You can access text from images as well. And then, of course, if you are on the creative side of things, which I am not, you can also sketch and draw using the iPad in real time. Again, coming back to the education aspect of it, if you're somebody who's getting online education on a device like the iPad mini, because of the Apple Pencil, you also get access to things like notes, and you can take quick notes using the Apple Pencil, which is really helpful on a device like this. The iPad mini also gets a USB-C port this time around, which means it is slightly more versatile and you have access to a lot more things. So while you can connect hard drives and flash drives, you can also connect a bunch of other accessories that are available for devices like iPads. You also can connect a hub or a dock, which will allow you to connect to several other peripherals and accessories. So you can have a headphone out, you can have a charging cable, and you can have several USB ports. So you can do a bit of multitasking if you want to do it on the iPad mini. And this iPad mini is capable of handling that thanks to the performance that's built into the chip, like I mentioned before. Let's come back to the size, and one of the major important aspects of the size is the display. So it's an 8.3-inch display. This has a anti-reflective coating and has a very low reflectivity index, along with the fact that it has 500 nits of brightness, which is really good for a device in this category. It's not meant to be a pro device, so you're not going all the way to 1000 nits or 1600 nits, which you can go with the iPad Pros. Now, because it's a liquid retina display, you get a pretty good resolution on the display. And the size also makes it kind of perfect to turn this into like a e-reader device. So if you're somebody who does a lot of reading, especially ebooks, this is a fantastic device for that because it is extremely lightweight, easy to hold with one hand, and the visibility and the display quality is pretty fantastic for reading text. Now the display does have a jello effect in vertical scrolling, and that's because of the placement of the drivers. Apple for some reason decided to place the drivers in a vertical format. So the screen now refreshes in a vertical format from right to left. So every time you have something happening like scrolling, you will see that the right part of the screen will move quicker than the left part of the screen, and that allows for a visual jello effect. Now, this is for people who have 120 FPS eyesight, and not for mostly everyone else. So if you're using the iPad mini on the regular, you will really not notice this. But if you slow down the camera, if you put it down to 240 FPS, you can really see the jello effect. And if you're somebody who can visually see this jello effect, it can bother you in your day-to-day usage. It does not affect the way the display works. In fact, all displays have a refresh cycle from right to left, but it usually is set in the landscape format and not in the portrait format, so you don't really notice the jello effect. But because it is set in the portrait format on the iPad mini, you will visually see this jello. If you are sort of pixel peeping, if you are looking for the jello, you can spot it with your eyes. Another thing that is a little bothersome is the fact that the widgets and the overall user interface is not very adjustable. So on the standard format, you can see the icons and everything seems a little small, especially if you've been using even iPhones, the icons appear to be small and the widgets appear to be small. And certain things you can increase. So you can increase the size of the icons by going into accessibility or by adjusting the display icon size. But for widgets, you cannot readjust them or replace them or increase the size or decrease the size. So some of the text on the widgets is not easily readable, and it can be bothersome for somebody who's especially used a larger iPad and is now using an iPad mini, can see some of the text can be really bothersome to read. But for the most part, if you are not bothered by it, if you're a first-time user, you'll not really notice the fact that the display sizes are small. One of the biggest advantages of this is that you do get a pretty capable camera. You do get 4K 60 video as well on this. And this is a fantastic viewfinder. So whether you're using the onboard camera or using this as a viewfinder, we in fact use this as a field monitor. Since we've had it, we've put it next to our camera. Wirelessly, we've converted this into a field monitor, which is fantastic for framing shots and remotely operating the camera. And this is a pretty powerful device to be able to do that because you get a lot of versatility. But for people who are using this device for capturing video or photographs, you will see that the display is pretty fantastic for that. And the camera also is pretty amazing for that. You get a 12 megapixel wide camera, and that does have a lot of versatility, and basically the same capabilities that you get on the iPhone 13 is what you're getting on the iPad mini as well. Another feature that you do get is center stage on the front Face ID camera. So if you're somebody who does a lot of video calls, whether over FaceTime or over any other video call network like Zoom or Teams or even WebEx, you will get the center stage capability, and the camera will follow you in a certain range if you're moving around too much to always keep you centered in the frame. And that works well on basically all iPads, and it works really well on the iPad mini as well. So this has been targeted as a media consumption and performance workhorse. Productivity is really possible in this mini device, and whether you're somebody who wants to do just basic things like browsing the internet, watching videos, you can do that really well on this. And you can also play a lot of games on this. You have the access to all the iOS games as well as iPad games on this. But if you're on the pro side, if you're somebody who's editing videos or photographs, or if you're somebody who's creating music on the go, this is a pretty versatile device, and it's power packed and comparatively affordable. I wouldn't really call it affordable, but it is for what you're getting in this. This is much more value for money than, for example, an iPhone, because this gives you basically a iPhone 13 with a larger screen and lesser cameras. That's it. One less camera, a larger screen, and it's the same thing as an iPhone, except for you can't make phone calls. That's the only difference. And it is much cheaper in comparison. And if you go into the market, look for a device like this, if you look for a competition device for this, I don't think there is a device that exists. And some of the accessories that you can get, the Apple Pencil, and the fact that you get not only a keyboard cover, but also this magnetic flip-on cover, which works well with this device. This is a pretty power-packed device, and I highly recommend it for someone who's getting either a first tablet or is looking for a compact tablet to do all of the things that I mentioned in this video. If you're somebody who's not used to the Apple ecosystem or workspace, you can definitely give it a try. If you're looking for something like this in Android, unfortunately, something like this doesn't exist at this moment, but that may soon change, especially after the launch of the iPad mini. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyan. This has been Bharat. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.